You can like get a jar, put the like, clay at the bottom of the jar that will harden, just like normal clay, and you just put nail polish remover, and then don't breathe it in, but you can close the jar. So whenever you put an insect into it, unless it's a moth or a butterfly, it'll die, it'll suffocate.
Okay.
The best places to find a lot of insects, from the sounds of it, you don't need to like pin it. You can just put in like a little jar of alcohol. You can like get a flower and get like a white piece of paper, and then like tap the flower onto the white piece of paper, and lots of small things will fall out.
Flower, like a rose or something like
flower.
that.
Just, like,
kind
tap
of
it, and like the stuff that lives inside of the flowers, like for the nectar and stuff. So when you tap it onto the white paper, they'll fall out. They're super tiny.
Okay.
You look up their stick bugs, and you can look at leaves to see if there's like a lot of like biting or like broken leaves, and there should be stuff there. You can also look at like sticks, and sometimes sticks will have something called a gall, G-A-L-L, which is like an amorphous mass on like the branch, and it's filled with like insect larvae that will pop out. So don't pop it, just gotta like take it off and then put it in alcohol, and then pop it.
Okay, pop it after you put it in alcohol?
Yeah, don't, otherwise they'll just kind of like maggot everywhere.
Tell them, what about the sheet? What'd you tell them about?
Put up a white sheet and then put a light on the sheet, and they'll go to it.
At night?
At night, yeah, and they'll get stuck to it sometimes, or they're just like, and you can just like jar on top with the alcohol and they'll just die.
Okay, and alternative to alcohol would be?
Nail polish remover.
Nail polish remover. What do you do with it?
The same thing, you just put it at the bottom. It helps if you have a clay at the bottom to absorb it all. And it'll just keep it there and last a long time, and it won't like damage it. When you put stuff in there, it's a pretty violent death, so they end up contorting themselves. Either way. Twisting, yeah. So keep that in mind. And you put them in the freezer and stuff, you have 48 hours to pin them before they dry out.
If you kill them by putting them in the freezer.
Anyway, they have 48 hours before they dry out, and so you either stick them with a needle within 48 hours into like styrofoam. They're very thin. They have online, you can find them, super thin needles, and you want to like aim towards like the torso, then to the right, a little bit.
To the right side of the torso?
Right side of the torso, not down the middle, but to the right side.
Why is that?
Because
the bug's right.
The bugs are all equal on left and right side, so you choose a side to pin through. You don't do the middle because you could like damage something that is good for identifying. So you choose the right side to pin it through. And if it's super tiny, you use something called a minute needle, which is like the size of an eyelash. Be very careful because their needle is the size of an eyelash; it'll hurt you. And you put that into it instead.
Okay. And you might be able to get them stick bug, maybe.
Maybe. I have to go check. I know some bushes that are infected, but I can't promise that because I haven't been back in like several months.
Okay. Thank you, Sean.
Boards, and then like there's a board underneath, and then you put it in to the boards, and you spread their wings out, and then you pin a piece of paper not onto the wing, but like holding the wing down with the paper, and the pins are holding the paper down to the board, and you spread out the wings, and then you let it dry out like that. That way the wings are spread out, and then you can pin the insect.
Okay, for moths and butterflies.
Yes.
You almost like press them.
Yes, that's why you also don't put them in the jar because they'll contort them. You want to put them in the freezer first and then do that.
Okay, within 48 hours.
Within 48 hours.
Less than 48 hours.
Ideally.
Okay.
Yeah, because then they start getting dried out and they'll slip down the pin and won't stick.
Super. You're a